Hi ladies, just coming to you with a quick process video on the tea bag holders. I did do a small introduction on how I created them and was asked by request to do a tutorial. Now, while it may not be a tutorial, I don't know, what's a process video and what's a tutorial? I don't know. Anyway, without further ado, I'm just going to explain how I came about these particular ones that I've created. And the bottom three were covered with a paper napkin, and the top ones were just covered in just general scraps of paper, text, music sheet and coffee dyed paper. So I'll leave them there so you can actually look at them and get some inspiration. Now, it was from a box of turmeric tea, and I thought, wow, how cute were they? Now, I'm going to use this in a project as well. I reckon it'd be really good in your junk journals and, you know, cover them up. They're quite handy. So enjoy your tea, ladies. So that's what it looks like in the raw. Then I covered in gesso. Now, the reason why this is sort of partly done is because I had an incident with the glue. It must have been, that's the culprit there. It must have been watery, so I've obviously made a water mixture for decoupage, and so I sped up the process a little bit. So with this, it's just a coffee dyed piece there, and I've just secured it and glued it down there so that, you know, you've got the coffee dyed paper in there. Okay, on the back side of it, I gessoed it. Now, you don't have to do 2 or 3 coats because you'll be covering it up. It's just mainly to dull out the brilliant orange. Now, this is just some wrapping paper. I really don't know where I got it from. And because I'm not a girl of measure, I should be doing being a woodworker. I cut up several pieces until I got it right. I just and so I just glued it on there. That's just a bit of textbook on there. And be careful with your wording too. That's got screaming, and it's not a negative when you read the story, you know, like a scream for joy. So, but we can cover that up anyway. So that's what it is for the moment. Now, on these I used various different things. I believe I used a piece of this as well also. Now, that's not wide enough. Okay, we'll use that. Let's just hope. Yes. Yep. Okay. Sometimes I measure, sometimes I don't. Just depends on what I'm actually doing. Okay, so that's close enough. Now, you can use a wet glue or a glue stick, depending on the quality of your glue stick. Some are really good, some lift up at the corners, so I usually try and make sure that they're all done to the corners. And you've got a bit of giveaway, you can actually slide it a little bit. Okay. So if you're not careful with your corners, but it's a learning curve, you know. Just get to your corners, and you can, like I said, you can use a bit of wet glue. Wet glue might sit better with it. Okay. Now, guess what? That's upside down. But because it's a glue stick, you've got a chance to lift it back up again. Now, I might actually have to re-glue that. And like I said, depending on the quality, these were 3 for 75 cents, so I'm not sure how they'll hold up. They're only a new product out for me. Make sure you've got the writing the right way up. It's because I'm working upside down so that it can, you know, you can see it. I can, you know, put it up to the computer and then turn it around later, but it's just a lot easier this way if you get it the right side up as I'm working. So there we are. So we've got that. Now, I came across this I don't know where I came across it, so it's just been in my stash forever, and I think at the time I was thinking, you know, it's too flowery, too primsy, but it's perfect for the junk journals. So I got a couple of pieces out here, and that's what we'll put up the top there. So now I'm going to be using wet glue. We put up a piece there. Now see if this squirts right out. Oh, see, there we go. That's the water one. I grabbed the wrong one. Okay. Okay. Now I think I had problems with this one. Might have to try and find another glue. Okay. I've got to yet fill them up. Okay, let's hope this one's okay. Where do you ladies find those ones with the fine pins on the end, you know, needle pins on the end of them? Put it the right way up. Now this is only just a demonstration. I mean, they turned out quite well, but this one, okay, here we go. Yeah, just be careful that it doesn't stick all the way down. Okay, so the next one was just putting out some, I think, music sheet on the front. Okay. Now we can just use a glue stick for this. Now I'll show you how I stained the bit of music paper, because that'd be of interest to somebody out there. Okay. Because when I first started out, I didn't have any of the, you know, the distress inks, or they call them oxide inks now. Just trim it. Excuse the messy desk. Okay, so now I did have those little hearts. Now these were cut from wallpaper. They're so tiny, wee ones. And you can put little messages in them, and now I will be going around them in a pen so you can actually see them. I just, you know, sort of, and there's no rhyme or reason where they go. It's just to show you the process of covering them. And now for the closure, I used a little stamp thing there. Now I found this in my stash, so what I did was I just took one apart, took that off. I actually took the sticky thing off the back, or did I? Yeah, I did. Okay, we'll stick you there, and I'll just cut it in half. No, I don't like that. Maybe it's the wrong one. Let's do this one. Yeah, just for the closure, so, you know, it's sort of glued up there, and then, you know, you can sort of pull it down that way. What's it actually say on there? Oh, it's a little teddy bear. I don't know if I want to do that, but I'll find another closure of some sort. Okay, where's my pens? Okay, so I just did some bow stitching. Yeah, they're quite easy to make, you know, like depending on what you've got in your stash, because it's all small things. You can put, you know, a bit of lace around. about, you know, like trim it out. This is all about just giving it a go. I don't know if it's right or wrong or whatever, it's just how it is. And then I found a word. I mean, it could be too much, I don't know. I'll just put enjoy. You can print your own words out and, you know, do your own things. So anyway, that gives you an idea of, you know, how to create them. With the copy stain, I'll show you how I did that. It was just simply, I'll try and get a bit of, because that was already coloured that way, so it looks aged and vintaged. So just a bit of coffee now. That was from yesterday when I was doing the junk journal faux leather book cover, and I obviously didn't empty it out, so I just grabbed, it's just a kitchen sponge. When you have no use for them, just cut the scrubber part off and just use the sponge, and I just dabbed, and you know, while it looks dark initially, you just stretch it out. So, you know, and then it can give you a stained look. Now, I usually do edges with the same technique as well. So, now you can put that on there. So that just gives you an idea of what you can do. I mean, it's a mismatch this morning because I hadn't planned on doing the video, and I thought, oh well, I'll get it up and get it crossed off my chalkboard. I've got a few things that I've got to actually do, and this was one of them. So yeah, with your own embellishments, you can, you know, create beautiful little holders, you know, tea bag holders. And just some bow stitching. Okay, everybody's doing the bow stitching. Why isn't it not working? It must be the day, because everything has gone wrong today. My program, my video editing program wasn't working, wasn't uploading. So probably today is a day of rest. But that gives you an indication of, you know, what you can actually do with the tea bag holders. I see I had one ready to go and do another one. So, but I hope that helps, ladies. You know, I'm sure you can come across with your own little embellishments, and but if you can see how I've put the sticker on there and just use it for a closure. And sometimes it can be a little bit awkward, but it sort of just... And that was one with a napkin. So if you have any questions, ladies, just put your questions in the comments box and I will get to the questions. That piece there was, I think, just a copy dyed manila folder, and I darkened it up with the sponge, so, you know, if you can, it's really hard, there's not much left on the copy now. So, but yeah, they're just all experimental, you know, just experiment with all your bits and pieces, and these are projects where you can use all your itty bitty tiny little embellishments. So I hope that helps, ladies, and until next time, take care and thank you very much for watching.